Say hi. Hi, everybody. It's Melissa. Um, I don't even know who's watching this. Probably nobody. Um, Supposed to be leaving for work right now. Couldn't do it. Um, I have been like totally just zoned out today. Like complete brain fog. Can't concentrate. My memory is shot, which I told the lady that at the center, or the mental health center place that I'm getting ready to go into and check out. Just been thinking a lot today. But I'm really introspective most of the time. Like, I have to figure things out. And I want to know if I'm interested in something, I want to know all about it. I want to know what makes me tick. I want to know what makes other people tick. I think it's fascinating. So I think about that a lot. Try to go back and think, what caused this? What trauma caused this? And to be quite honest with you, I don't even remember, like, I might have two memories from before I was 4 years old. I do remember watching the men land on the moon. I do remember watching that. Yes, I'm old. And I remember I had like a little alien head TV, old 1960s, shaped like it was a circle with antennas. It was silver. I had one of those in my bedroom. I do remember that. I remember my dad was a hippie. He's still alive, by the way. And in my life, we don't talk as often as I'd like, but he's a great guy. Very intelligent, very artistic. He was a hippie. Him and my mom split when I was 4. I remember that day. I remember him standing in the living room with his suitcases, crying, telling me he was leaving. Didn't understand what was going on. I just knew I didn't want him to go. The lady, the intake counselor, she said, was there any sexual abuse? Was there blah, blah, blah? And yeah, I was sexually abused as a child when I was 6. I thought I'd made my peace with that. And it was, hey, shh, Gracie. Sorry, it's my dog. She's licking the couch. 'Cause I don't think about it, I forgave that person. It wasn't a family member. It was babysitter. Hey! And, sorry. And it's just something I don't think about. Or maybe I just try not to think about it ever, but it was so long ago, and I'm not really one to hold on to grudges or hatred. In fact, can't think of anybody that I hate. Hate is a very strong term. I can't think of anybody that I hate. But she was asking, do do you have any childhood traumas? Did something happen? And I told her about the sexual abuse, and she asked me if it bothered me now. No, I don't think it does. Now, did it affect me and make me who I am today? I'm sure it did. There was a lot of other stuff that went on, though. My mom was a single mother. Obviously, her and my dad got divorced. She was married in total to date 5 times. So I had a lot of stepdads, step siblings. Went to a lot of different grade schools, a lot of them. And I was introverted and shy and didn't make friends easily, painfully shy. I've always been introverted. And Mom worked a lot. And when she wasn't working, she was partying. Girlfriend loved to party. So I got left with babysitters all the time. And when we finally moved when I was 7, I became best friends with my next door neighbor. I met him the day we moved in, and he was we were inseparable. So luckily his mom, I pretty much lived there. So I saw my dad every other weekend, and over Christmas and 2 weeks in the summer. And he ended up getting remarried, but I don't really have any strong memories of my mom growing up. I don't remember her really being there a lot. So, I know I saw a shrink years ago. Sorry, psychiatrist. And he said, we delved into all that, and he said, you did a pretty good job for raising yourself. Which, I don't know if I did a pretty good job, because I am messed up. Just, ugh. And the thing is, there for a while, I was doing really well. But, this past year is actually the past couple years, but this past year in particular, I have just spiraled. I mean, spiraled. And I think I know why a lot of that has happened. But anyway, getting back to my dad and my memories of my dad. I have 2. He had an art studio here in my town. He rented a space where he could paint. And I remember being real little, and I had one of those popcorn poppers. And it was an old building, old historical building downtown on the 2nd floor. And I was rolling the popcorn popper around, and he was painting. I remember that. And I remember he had like a 67 Chevy, really old, and it was like primered and different colors. And I remember driving with him down our main street here in my town, and the steering wheel came off. And I remember him panicking and trying to steer to somewhere to park using just the little nub that... I must have only been like 3, but those are the only 2 memories that I have being little. Oh, and the moon landing, which that must have just thrilled me or something. And that bothers me that I can't. Some people can remember every little detail of, their childhood, and even like my youngest son can remember things from when he was like 2. I mean, details. And I'm just blown away by that. So, my dogs are going crazy. You see my dogs? Say hi, guys. Say hi. my babies. Look at my baby. Yes. Anyhow. They say I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Sorry, can't talk. Now they're wrestling. The dogs are wrestling, making a commotion. Hey, what are you doing? So, and I know that they say a lot of what causes borderline personality disorder, BPD, is childhood trauma, and I do have a lot of the symptoms, particularly in early child, teen years. Self-harm, which I think I talked about in my first video, cutting, this years ago. Hey, quit! Hey, what's going on over there? Using my cell phone. Sure you noticed that. You guys, I'm gonna have to move. You're making such a commotion. A lot of, goodness. A lot of self-destructive behavior. A lot of promiscuity in my early years. To fill a void, I felt worthless, less than. And any attention that I got made me feel like I was worth something. I look back on that now and I'm like, oh my God, how crazy. But that's just the way it was. I've not ever been a cheater, like in my relationships. And I think a lot of that stems from watching my mom growing up. She had a lot of boyfriends, husbands, and she would go out with married men, and I had no respect for that. We're close. We're very close now, but we weren't. We were not when I was a teenager. I had literally no respect for her and the choices that she made. I got to a point where I just stayed away from home all the time. Stayed with friends. I'd go move in with my dad for a while. Stayed with my cousin. My sister got married when she was 16. Stayed at their house a lot. She's still married. They've been married for, my God, 34 years, 35 years. They're my idols. They're my heroes. I love my brother-in-law. He's my brother, literally. But yeah, I've had all the classic signs and symptoms of BPD. I have an explosive temper when I get mad. Not so much anymore, but when I was younger, I would lash out. Just lash out. I would say anything. I would use whatever just to cut someone to the core, And then I finally learned that, words have consequences, and you can't take some words back. Sometimes you say something and it cannot be taken back, and I don't know, that just sunk in with me one day. So I don't cut somebody down, their personality or who they are. I never did that with my children, because I didn't want them to feel less than. I wanted my children to be healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally. I wanted them to be healthy. I don't know how well that worked out, because still growing up with someone with major depression and BPD, I'm sure it affected them. I'm sure it did. But, as far as the childhood trauma, I don't remember a lot of stuff. I'm sure I've intentionally blocked a lot of stuff out. I do know the sexual abuse, and there was physical abuse there too, really screwed me up as far as religion and God was concerned, because this occurred in someone's house who was a minister. It wasn't the minister that did it, but when it was happening, my mom was on third shift, and so I spent the night with these people, and they had a foster daughter who was 17. Bad. She was bad girl. Smoked. I guess she'd been in the system forever. And I know they used to, if she said or did anything wrong, and she did a lot of stuff. She was, I was little and very shy and timid, and but I remember watching my babysitter, and they were an older couple. They were like in their 50s, 60s, and at the time that seemed really old to me. And they used to beat her with this wooden paddle. All over her body. They would just start beating her, and I was dumbfounded. Even for being so little, it just scared me to death. So, I have sympathy for her, because she was obviously a messed up chick. Messed up. That doesn't excuse her behavior. But anyway, she would sleep with me. They would put me in her room when I had to spend the night there. And so I would have to go to church with them and stuff. And I knew about God. I went to church with my grandma and my grandpa and my mom, and but when the abuse was happening, there was that picture of Jesus hanging beside the bed. The one where his eyes follow you around? You know that picture? It's that Jesus picture. But I would stare at that picture while all whatever was going on, and I would be begging him for help, and then I would think, why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you doing something to stop this? And he'd be looking at me. And then I felt ashamed, because I thought God was watching. And when you're 5 and 6, it messed me up on God for a long time. I believe in God. I pray. I don't know if I believe like your typical Christian God, but it messed me up on religion. that I can say. Um, and I would stare at that picture to detach from what was going on. Um, so I'm sure that a lot of that had to do with how I ended up. But when my oldest son was around 7, 8, my youngest son was 3 and 4, we moved into the house that I live in now. It's been 20 years. And I had a good job. My life had settled down. I just wanted to raise my kids, and I wanted them to have security and stability. That's why I never moved from this house. They went to the same school through their whole school career. I just had to make sure of that because I did not want them to experience everything that I went through. And I need structure in my life. I have to have it. I just feel completely out of control if there's no structure or balance. And so when my oldest son just moved out this year, my youngest son's been gone for a couple years, living with his girlfriend. And it's just me now. It's just me. And I don't have anybody to take care of. What's my purpose? I don't know if I have a purpose. And it's hard. Like, I just feel like I'm done. I'm done. I did what I was supposed to do. I raised my kids. I'm done. There's nothing else. And I can't get past it. It's like I'm just stuck in that. So, anyway, I'm staying home again tonight. My oldest son said he's going to come visit here in a little while, so that's a good thing. I miss my kids. I miss them when they were little and cooking and taking care of them and ball games and band practice and all this stuff. Anyway, I know this has been a long rambling video. I'm sorry. I guess I feel like if I talk about stuff, maybe I can work through it in my head. So thanks for putting up with me. And I hope everybody is well and safe. And until next time, talk to you later.